Welcome back to the Andrew Undem podcast. I have a repeat guest, someone I've learned a ton from, who just dropped a load of knowledge on the team, Mr. Jeff Martin, University Recruiters, Jeffrey Agency.
What up, brother?
Thanks for coming to Baltimore. Last time we did it in Bel Air.
Yeah.
So before we jump into it, make sure the audience knows a little bit about you, your background, and all the stuff you've been up to, which is very impressive.
Yeah, so, reality is I'm a recruiter. I'm proud to wear that badge, but I do a lot of other things. I own a recruiting company, have a team, specialize in LinkedIn training, which we did upstairs. We'll get a little into that in the podcast. I have a passion for something I'm getting into more now. It's funny, I don't have one, but I talk to the CEO coaches. Mm-hmm. And the number one thing I get yelled at is, you're too in the business, you need to work on the business, right? Probably just like you. Yep. Let me take everyone, it's my commission. So now I'm trying to step out a little bit to grow the business, but I'm also passionate and having fun going to other businesses saying, why aren't you growing? Right. We're just talking about recruiting for here.
Yeah.
Right? What are you doing wrong? What do we need to do? And the only reason I'm good at that is because I do it all day long for so many companies in this sphere that I learned from all these other companies.
Well, one of the things I love about picking your brain is you're so ingrained in the real estate industry with real estate agents, with mortgage companies. So you have a holistic view of what's coming.
Yep.
And one of the things we talked about is you're pretty bullish on the residential real estate industry, which is kind of
first time in a long time. And it's not to jump in, ADD kicks in. And I get that because I come from the real estate world. I come from the loan officer side, where I was for 15 years, helped build a pretty cool company. And I'm surrounded by them. And I'm surrounded by the best of the best. There's tons of good people. But from the real estate side, I work with some of the biggest and badass companies you could think of, and same as the mortgage side.
Well, give us some examples. We already know he kind of built Sirhan's company. I don't want to plug you too much there.
Yeah, we helped Sirhan get that up and running. So, and again, when I'm around him and I'm around his people, they're the experts. I just listen. Right. Local guy down the street, Bob Lucido, an absolute beast. Love him. Just listening and watching. And, where I come from in the mortgage space, I could tell you, and I was telling you guys this upstairs, is I judge the market on how hard my phone is ringing about they need people.
Right.
And then the last 60 days, so we're October 1st today. So let's just call it the end of August, really September, the big boys and girls came back to play. I won't mention their names, but the biggest of the big who never stopped hiring. That's the first thing. They never stopped, but now they're going after hundreds because they realize that if you think about it, 3 years of this dog shit?
Yeah.
3. Actually, really 4, but let's just call it 3.5. So we're so used to it just being stale that we don't remember the good old days. And I'm not saying we're going to get there, but when you have a mortgage company coming back and saying, we need 100 in 100 days.
Yeah. 100 loan officers in 100 days.
Yep.
They don't do that because they think the market's going to be slow.
No. And the company we were just talking about, right? I come from New Day, love it, proud of it, right? They're going to hire 30, 40 kids a month. You don't hire that if you don't think we're moving in the right direction. Freedom Mortgage, I'll drop them. They're trying to hire hundreds, right? These are companies that know what the hell they're doing. And then I go to the real estate side. We were just talking about recruiting for you. I just placed, won't mention their names, but 2 recruiters for 2 big companies. Why? They're going to pay, I think it's a total of $250,000 in salary because they know what's coming. Right.
So we should be getting excited a little bit.
I would be. I am from a recruiting standpoint. It's great. The problem is there's so many people that have sat in the sidelines. They haven't done shit. They're just, the thing that makes me mad is I'll talk to these mortgage bankers, take real estate out. You know that better than I do. And all right, what'd you do? I kind of just sat around for a year. And I'm like, dude, you can't do that. You can't do that. Go sell something, right? So I think it was last October, 100,000, the numbers, fact check me, but close. Loan officers got out of the business. Mm-hmm. And now they all want to get back in, but they want to hop ahead of everyone because they used to do it, right? So, I have this thing, okay, great. You made a couple $100,000 in the heyday when anyone could have closed a loan, right? But then you took the hard time off. So I was just telling your team upstairs, I'm like, you guys, what that does is it gets rid of the riffraff and the shit. The people that were doing it just to do it. They weren't passionate about the career. It's, hey, I can make a good paycheck closing loans, but you know what? When times get tough, I'm going to run. When listings dry up, I'm going to run. And what I like about the teams I work with and yours, these are people that got through the hard time.
Right.
So they're going to make the money and prosper before these new guys sitting on the sidelines, right? And that's what we talked about with the team upstairs. And if you're watching this and you've gotten through it, you may have not made a lot of money. You may have had some rough years, but you never gave up. It's payback time.
Well, you kind of blew up on the scene, particularly on LinkedIn. But before we talk about how you operate on LinkedIn, because no one knows LinkedIn better than Jeff Martin. And I found you on LinkedIn because you were a Maryland guy. I said, oh my God, this guy's up the street from me. Let's see if I can connect. And now that's how it works. But I originally saw you were hanging out with Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm a Gary V disciple. And you were hanging out with him. Then I see you with Sirhan. How did you get in front of the biggest names in the media world?
I don't know. Gary V was through his brother, and they liked what I was doing. So let's go back 2016-ish. You weren't even allowed to post video on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. You weren't. So I was uploading it to YouTube and putting a YouTube link. Gary V's brother saw that. We started a relationship. I did some work for his Vayner companies and just became friends and wound up. We were talking about, me being around experts. I would go to these meetings and just listen to them.
Right.
I just listen. The amount of shit I took away from that was insane. That parlayed me into Ryan. Ryan was, this has got a 2017-ish, a year out from his contract being up with
Nest Seekers.
Yeah. And so all it was conversation. But for a year, I would go up once a month to have a conversation where then 19 came and it was time to pull the trigger. We did it all under the basement. It was freaking amazing. It was the greatest experience ever. No one in his company could know, or anyone on his team. I think he had 90 on his team. We had to hire a CFO. Literally, our interview was in a basement. No one could be in it. So that was fun. We helped pop that off, and you know where that's going now. So, I'm around these people. And I always tell people, man, get around people that know more than you and just suck it in, right? And now when I recruit in this space, I know so much, not because I always say I'm like a pawnbroker. They know everything about everything. I need to know about every job. And when it comes to mortgage and real estate, I have so many clients that just listening to these experts, I'm able to take that knowledge and parlay it into, the next thing, just like you do. So anyway, long story short, if you're in the business and you stayed in the business and you busted your ass, it's payback time.
Let's go. And we're looking for good people because we know it's payback time.
It's payback time.
I've been building the armory for years now, waiting for this time, which is why I kind of begged you to come back down, always gracious with your time. But I got to ask you about Gary Vee again. So they saw, Jeff was the first kind of big influencer, in my opinion, on LinkedIn, who was just heavy on LinkedIn. We all do Instagram, we all do Facebook, especially real estate agents, but you were kind of the guy doing it for recruiting on LinkedIn, which is known as a business platform. A lot of recruiters use it, but you took a different spin on it, which is probably why Gary was like, this makes sense, but bring him into the fold.
Yeah, so actually it's funny because I met Gary, and at this time I'd become friends with Justin Tucker from the Ravens. And Justin was doing videos. It was insane to even think about this. We were a commercial, 30-second commercial, which I don't even know what it looks like anymore, of Justin talking about university recruiters. Actually, an awesome commercial. Monday Night Football, and I remember Gary called me up, and he goes, no. You don't need this bullshit. Good dude, but do it yourself. So that's where I doubled down on, and I remember Gary saying, if you're going to do it, I trust you. I'm not going to help you if you don't do it. If you do it, I'll hold your hand and walk you through. And then I said, okay, just like we told your team upstairs, I thought I was the expert in staffing. I was the expert in recruiting, so I'm going to be the guy. And I just kept putting out, I should have doubled down during COVID, which is my fault. But all I did every day was content on how to get hired, how to hire, how to land your dream job. The best advice I ever got was from Gary, and I don't remember her name. She was a PR lady, I don't want to say mean, tough ass,
right,
dad in DC. And I just had a post go viral, and I was online in the morning talking about working out, and then I talked about jobs, and I talked about how to, whatever. And at the same week, they both said, go narrow. You'll have less to talk about, but you become more of an expert. And I was like, okay, shit. That's fine. So what that really means is you're not Tony Robbins.
Right.
You're not Mr. Workout. Talk about the shit and that will attract the people that want to buy from you or be around that. And I triple down on what I do, which is staffing and recruiting and LinkedIn, and just put out content. I didn't care who was listening. I didn't care who was teasing me. We talk about a story all the time. There was a rough patch where everyone would tease me like, what is this? What do you do? This is so stupid.
Yeah, when you start doing a lot of video, especially your friends.
And this is back in the day where it was definitely weird.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, I would show up to where I play golf and, Mr. Video. And now it's so normal that they're all wondering, I just had a big client reach out who would tease as a joke, but he's like, hey, what equipment do you use? I said, about time. You're 5 years late, but better late than never. So I got in when it wasn't cool to do so. That's when everyone should. And it paid off, right? Because now there's so much noise.
Where would you be if you didn't do it? Who knows?
Making cold calls.
So you don't.
I've never made a business cold call. Now, but I probably need to. I'm not saying that's the right way. But my cold call was my content. Narrow, talking about what I know. So if I'm a real estate agent, I'm talking about how to buy a house, how to list a home shit. I'm not also getting on, you can do this on Instagram if you want. I'm not getting on talking about my workout in the morning. Now, I fill the void with some rah-rah shit, no doubt, but I'm not trying to be an expert in 10 different things.
Right.
I stay narrow. So if you're a broker or an agent, stay narrow, put out your content, be the expert, become the expert, right? Be the guy or girl, be the brand. I became the brand in recruiting. And now, my biggest mistake was not tripling down the amount of millionaires made on social media during COVID. I don't know what the number was, is mind-blowing. And I actually pulled back. Big mistake. Mm-hmm. I was still working. Because the mortgage, our industry, your industry, was on fire.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like a lot of these other companies, knock on wood. I was busy as shit.
Right.
If I wasn't, I'd be in the basement just pumping out content. I mean, there's people that were literally, I followed a lady, Lauren Jumps, who now makes millions because she learned how to jump rope during COVID.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
So for the real estate professionals out there, what I find a lot of people do is they want to put out content to impress other agents, which is fine. It's part of recruiting. It's fine. But what you really want to do, in my opinion, is you want the consumer to think they're better off going with you than their mom's friend's cousin,
absolutely.
the neighbor out here who's a nice lady, to go with you. Now, here's something I know, Jeff. You know what every homeowner at Cattail Creek, shout out to Cattail Creek, my man Greg First, Mike Malone.
Oh, love all those guys.
Those are my homies.
Love them.
You know what every homeowner who belongs to Cattail Creek has in common? Not the same sports teams, not the same family, not the same business, not the same interest, but they all have one thing in common. They want their property value to go up. And if you can be the guy who can show somebody how to maximize the equity of their assets, that's good types of content to put out. So that's the filter I always put on, is what would a homeowner care about? And if they wouldn't give a shit about what I'm saying, then maybe I don't post that. But that's what I'm starting to do on LinkedIn a little bit more. And Jeff just gave us a masterclass on LinkedIn, which is the most underutilized platform, period.
By far.
In the real estate business, period.
Free, 850
million
eyeballs on you. No locking your profile. I mean, I can keep going on, but it's just so mind-blowing how people don't understand that you need to be on there if you're in business. Bottom line, even if it's just a page, you need to be on there. But it is so powerful, not that we need to go into it. If you're not on there, you're leaving money, clients, relationships behind.
I can't tell you. That's where I met Jeff, on LinkedIn. Send him a message. Boom. Now we're helping each other. Every person, almost every person I've sent a message to, now this could be CEOs of major companies, they'll respond on LinkedIn. You ain't going to get them on Facebook.
No, you're not going to get them on Facebook or Instagram because it's, little Johnny's first home run, right? When you're on a business platform and they can go to your page and see that you're legit, you're not, a fake wannabe Instagram, whatever the hell it is, right? Living a fake life. They want to respond because they're in business. Plain and simple. There is no you're too big for me.
No,
On
they're there
LinkedIn.
for business.
If you got a business question, I'm here. I'm running the business. If I'm on the platform, let's chat. I answer everybody because no one's ever sending me a message for stupid shit. It's business. How do I grow this, that, job? Okay, let's hop on a call.
Dude, we showed it to our team upstairs. I just pulled up my LinkedIn profile. Now, I'll be the first to admit, should do more on there, and I'm starting to. I'm revamping it up because we want to get some fresh blood in here. We know the market's going to rip. We know what it looks and feels like to sell 2 homes a day every single day because we did it in 21. We did it in 22.
That's
Market's
fun.
a little soft. Our goal is to get to 1,000, which would be 4 every weekday. And we can do it, but we just need the right people, and we need to attract the right people, and LinkedIn's the place to do it. But I went to my profile, haven't posted in a week or two. Brandon, behind the camera over there, he's posting for me more than I do personally, which is a mistake. 632 people viewed my profile in the last 7 days. Well, I clicked, who are the 632 people? Now, I can get my little free premium and see them all, but they are new home sales reps. They're other real estate agents. They're builders. They're people in the community. And the biggest takeaway, now we got to give some value here. I hope my competition doesn't do it, but we already know they're not going to.
Yeah, they can do it lazy.
What is the number one thing an agent should be doing? We did the search right upstairs. HR manager. Give them the nugget that's such a no-brainer. It's already landed me 2 talks.
And there's millions of this, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm an agent, I'm going to get on LinkedIn. I'm just going to give the example that I always use. I'm going to go HR manager within 10 miles. I'm going to reach out to every single HR manager. Hey, I'm Jeff Martin. I'm part of the Sure Group. I'm a local real estate agent. One of the things I do besides sell homes is I like to inform people of the market. Would love to come in and talk to your team about what we do. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm not trying to sell. I'm trying to just inform. That's it. If I did that 5 times a week, which you could copy and paste it, so figure 38 seconds a week, you would get invited to 4. You did that 12 months, you'd sell, I'm saying at least a minimum 3 homes.
Oh, more.
I know, I'm just saying, right? So, do the math, but that's how powerful this shit is. These are local people that you don't know. We pulled up Baltimore. We used human resources. 7,500 came up with that one title.
And you can just message them on LinkedIn. Now, Jeff challenged me to do this. So I went to your old company, New Day. I have some friends there. I asked him. I just do a little test. Hey, I know you guys are hiring some people. I'd love to come in, talk a little bit about renting versus buying, the market, interest rates, how to make sure you make a good decision and gain equity, win buying if you decide to buy. They go, dude, come on in. We're hiring 30 people a month. You can come in every month, talk to a new group. Well, I went down there with Brandon. We filmed it.
Yep.
Grand slam. 3
People
clients,
love
1
this
meeting.
shit.
Now, I only reached out to 1 person. Shame on me. But that's what we're going to do.
You'd be doing that weekly.
Yeah.
I mean, businesses like to give their employees, added perks, right? They're not going to recruit saying, hey, come in. We got our local realtor guy that comes in.
Right.
But, and here's what we spoke about this upstairs. If 8 people show up, that's 8 people that read Jeff Martin's coming in and talk about recruiting. Oh, I want to be there.
Right.
Well, if you want to be there, then I want to be there.
Right.
Right. If it's 1 person, cool. That's a buyer. Right. So I don't think people utilize, they think I'm going to get on Instagram, go viral, make money. They think I'm going to get on LinkedIn and sell 90 homes. That's not the way it works. You got to build and build and build the network. Next thing you know, you're in front of 1 company. It could be easily a week, but a month. Now all of a sudden you got 500 local people that know who you are. They're following you. How many of those people turn into buyers down the road or sellers? A shitload.
Yeah. And the key things, what I think holds people back from that is, A, no one likes public speaking, but dude, you're not giving a speech. You're just talking about what you already know about. I don't care if you're a mortgage officer, real estate agent, insurance person, whatever you're doing, you're just explaining what you do.
So it's funny you say that. So one of the things Gary Vee taught me when we were working on my LinkedIn training, so it fits perfect. He said, we all want to go in and blow ourselves away. We want to be up here. I remember him doing this.
Right.
He said, but you're talking to people that are down here, not down here education-wise. They don't know what you know.
Right.
So when I was talking about LinkedIn, I was trying to one-up myself.
Right.
And then I took his advice. I started saying, here's how you log in. Oh, shit, I didn't know that. Like your group today. Oh, by the way, your picture. Oh, really? Yeah. So all you have to do is go in. You're the expert. You don't have to know there's no public speaking. Talk about what you do for a living. If you can't do that, you're in the wrong damn profession.
Right.
Right. I got a client who makes everyone sell them at the end, sell me something. And everyone like shits in their pants. He's like, no, sell me whatever you're selling now. Oh, okay, cool. Bang. Right. But they're still nervous. Yeah. Then they kick in. When you're going in to talk to a group, you're just telling them what you know. And you don't have to be up here. Hey, first time home buyer. Here's what's going on. Rates. Here's what I'm here. Any questions? I'm a Q&A guy.
Oh, big time.
I tee up. And I roll off a queue, and I could do that for 10 hours, and you don't have to think of anything.
Right.
Right? But if you're not getting in the door and you're not taking a swing, then you have no shot. And guess who is? Your competition or the person next door to you. I was in a place the other day. This is totally separate, but big company. I'm not going to mention any names. And the guy that runs the real estate team, who's the number one agent, went to one of his other agents who's like number 3 and said, I just listed your neighbor. They're like, what? Jimmy ain't selling. That's the wrong name. How'd you get him? I knocked on his door on Sunday. You're freaking, you know what I mean? So like, there's other people that are going to get your business if you want to stay on Instagram and
which you should
100%, and post open houses, and you're going to sell some homes. Great. All you need to do is now move that stuff over to the most powerful business platform, right? Instagram's different. And if you use it consistently, you'll make money. Simple as that.
Here's another little nugget if you're still watching. Everyone talks about first-time buyer stuff. That's been a term forever. First-time buyers, we got to do a first-time home buyer workshop. Shouldn't do it. You know what no one talks about, Jeff? First-time home seller.
There you go.
We're down in Canton right now. A lot of first-time buyers here, but guess what they are in 3 or 4 or 5 years? They're first-time home sellers. They don't know how to sell a home.
Yeah, you don't even
they don't know how to buy a home. So I'm launching something. We're going to do it right here. We're retail storefront, 3500 Boston Street. Once a quarter, we're going to invite everyone, whoever wants to come, in Canton, Federal Hill, Fells Point, and say, hey, we're doing a first-time seller workshop. So if you're thinking of selling your home in the next 3 years, here's all the things you need to know. Because it's a different ballgame. Now we're trying to maximize their equity because we don't gamble with our equity. Now, every homeowner wants to hear that. We're going to post that on LinkedIn. We're going to invite people who have big companies and staff
out to the businesses
and say, hey, send your folks down here.
Yeah.
And then we'll do one for first-time home buyers too. You should still do that.
All you got to do is send a message. You send 500 of them, the place is packed.
It's packed.
And these are all local people. And then what happens, they follow you. So then they start to see your content. You become the expert in the area locally. Then where it gets really cool, they see you out and they're like, oh my God, you're the real estate guy.
Love that.
All right. Any questions, call me, right? And if we're all doing it, let's be candid, for business, to make money. That's why we're doing this shit, right? I mean, I give back enough, free advice to people, but I'm on the platform and doing my job to make money and pay bills. It'll come back.
Always comes back.
But not instantly, right? Everyone likes Instagram, and I keep going back to that. It's instant. How many hearts did I get?
Right.
Oh my God, it feels good. 800 people or 50 people. This takes a while. You have to nurture an audience, and the guy or girl that saw you 6 months ago may take 5 years to call me and say, I need to hire someone. I'm looking for a new job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've got a million examples like that when people say, hey, you listed that house 3 years ago and you did that drone video. I live 3 doors up. Would you do that for my house? And you're just like, got them. Now we don't have to have this world-class home marketing system presentation. They're sold. Come over. That's called a come list me. You don't get those if you're not putting out content. Now, Jeff, where can people, I heard you're launching something. You've been working on this for a long time. I think we did a podcast freaking 2 years ago and you were on it.
A lot. So part of it, laziness. Part of it, just
well, you've been busy.
Busy in my real business, not goofing around. And then there's another part that my LinkedIn training, I know where you're going. Somebody owns it on their platform, and now I'm allowed to do it.
Yeah. Sirhan wanted it, okay? Because Sirhan likes Sirhan. Sirhan likes it, loves Sirhan.
Which was great. I went through the whole process. I shot it. It looks good. And now I'm doing my own, which I'll own, I would say in about 3 months. We're going to sell it cheaper. I want it like a gym membership. No one's, if you don't log in, you're not mad you didn't spend.
What are you going to charge for it? What's it going to feel like? $150 a month?
It's going to be me? No. It's just one-time shot.
$150 and you just give
like everyone
everything.
Keeps asking me. It's funny you say that because I get it. But okay, what's number two? Number three? I'm like, no, this is a one-time thing. I'm going to teach you how to use the platform and then go use it. And then I'll come up with something for those that are using it that want more.
So you're saying for $150,
I'm going to give you an hour or two of me, real production, walking through, like I do for all these big companies, how to get on to how to make money. Because some people don't even know how to log in and set up a picture. They don't realize that your backdrop picture, now that Microsoft bought it, the algorithms are a little different. If your pictures aren't in place, it's like Google. You could be on page 9 when they're searching you. So I go over all that. So there's nobody that will watch that and say it wasn't worth it. People are trying to sell for $500.
Yeah.
Well, I know the average salesperson doesn't want to spend $500. Then they're going to be pissed. So what I want is, that was a no-brainer. I bought it. I used it. It was good. And I can't bitch or complain about it. I don't need emails.
So when's that coming out? This is October 2024. So by the end of the year?
Yeah.
All right, 2025. If you're not on LinkedIn, you got to get on it. And Jeff Martin is easily one of the best follows on LinkedIn and across other socials. Good guy, Howard County guy, Cattail Creek guy.
Check.
And where can they reach out to you? How do they follow you? And
I would follow me on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram, but I'm not,
Johnny's first home run.
So it's funny. Whatever we're switching here. Whatever I do on LinkedIn, I snapshot and put it in my stories. Instagram.
You're a LinkedIn first guy.
I'm a link. That's it. That's where I make my money.
So that's the call to action. If you're not on LinkedIn, get on it. If you have any questions about it, you can message Jeff, message me. I'm balls deep in it right now, and I'm having a lot of success with it, connecting with HR.
One of the things I just told your team is, I know when I go talk to a group, the first thing I say is, listen, I'll say 95% of you are going to be fired up, rah, bang your head, and no one's going to do shit. Nobody. So if you're listening to this, if you do anything, just build your page so you're searchable, right? Whether you're auto tech or I don't care what you do for a living, build and have a page that looks like a beautiful website. So if I go search for lawyer in Baltimore, you show up.
It's that simple.
It's that simple.
It's just that simple. And people don't do it. And the fact of the matter is that most people aren't going to do it is even more the reason why you should do it.
Totally.
So, Jeff, appreciate you coming to Baltimore, brother.
Yeah, man. We'll see you soon.
Let's grow, baby.